Herschel Walker back deep for the second half kickoff from Wilkins. Walker will handle it at the 3. Walker just outside the 20, about the 22. That's where the Cowboys will start. See what adjustments they made at halftime. Troy Aikman's one adjustment they won't make. He'll be at the helm. And he said he had to be patient.
Well, you know, the thing that they got on that last drive when they scored the touchdown is they got some runs by Emmitt Smith. They got the ball to Michael Irvin. And then Troy Aikman on that last drive made 2 runs, including the touchdown run himself.
Emmitt Smith got 1 yard. Aikman got the rest from the 8. Yeah, 2 runs.
And that was a new play that the Cowboys just put in this week, that quarterback draw.
They saw it last week from Philadelphia. Aikman gives to Emmitt Smith, and there's nothing there. Hit by Gary Plummer.
Yeah, there's an amazing story, Gary Plummer, Patty. Here's a guy who's playing with a torn cartilage today, is going to play in today's game. Now, this is something new in medicine that you've never heard of before. He's okay to play in the game today. He's going to be operated on Tuesday. They're going to operate on his knee Tuesday, and he'll miss 2 weeks after that.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
The guy, they already set his surgery for Tuesday, and he's playing today here in the game against the Dallas Cowboys.
2nd and 10. Aikman to throw. Outside to Bjornsson. Picked up about 3 yards, stopped by Tim McDonald. Bjornsson, they really wondered if he'd be able to play or not because of that sprained ankle. And in warm-ups before the game, I didn't think he would.
Well, Barry Switzer said last week, you know, someone said, how's Bjornsson doing? He said, well, his limp is getting better.
Yeah.
And, you know, in training camp, remember, he had a pulled hamstring. Then he got the ankle injury. And they were just hoping to get him through the first half.
Ernie Zampese said he's got to play.
Or he has to do this, use 3 wide receivers, 1, 2, 3. Oops.
Dolman jumped. I don't know if he was pulled offside or not.
Offside. Defense number 56, unabated towards the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Repeat down, 3rd down.
Here he is right here. I mean, he was not only offsides, but he had one of those unabated deals. In other words, when he got offsides, then he had an unabated shot at the quarterback, so they blew the whistle.
He got to practice his swim move.
Yeah, he practiced his swim move. Mark Tuinei didn't care. He knew it didn't count.
So that makes it 3rd and about 2.
But you can't go unabated. I mean, he was going unabated. If you go unabated, you better not hit the quarterback, because that would be, you know, unnecessary roughness.
Aikman. Deion Sanders broke away, and he's got some room. Deion Sanders to the 43-yard line of San Francisco. Merton Hanks stopped him.
You know what would have been interesting, Pat, if Deion Sanders is the fastest guy in football. Now, you don't expect him to do a lot of slants, and this is what Deion does here. But if he's the fastest guy in football, which everyone says he is, he should just outrun the thing right now. He shouldn't have waited for Merton. I guess Hanks did have the angle on him there. I said it was going to be interesting if he would just take off and sprint to see if Merton Hanks could catch him. But Merton Hanks said all safeties do this. All good safeties take good angles.
Deion's first catch. What a perfect throw.
Most of Troy Aikman's passes are perfect throws.
He's back to do it again. Incomplete. Marquez Pope.
Just when I said that, he almost throws an interception to Marquez Pope. Now watch Pope here. He's going to play tight, and as Irvin runs this out, Marquez Pope comes up, and he gets underneath the out because he has help deep. You see, if you have someone behind you, he can play underneath it. You see how he's playing underneath? Now when he makes a break, he can go run right underneath Michael Irvin's out. This is the way Marquez Pope gets ready, Pat. He comes out here and does this for an hour, starting at 11:30 in the morning to get his reactions right so he can attack.
Emmitt Smith. How'd you like to be the guy holding his gloves?
That's George Chung. That's what Chung does. Chung comes out and he holds those gloves, and a lot of players hit him. And you see it, they're just to react, and then to go a whole bunch of punches, because Marquez Pope says, you know, he's a safety playing corner, and he said as a corner, I just have to have a mental set to attack, and I have to attack all day.
Poor George never gets to hit back.
No. George just has to take it. George just wears the gloves, and they call him, hey, George Chung, come on over here, let me punch you.
3rd and 6. Aikman has to unload.
Oh, I don't know.
Stubblefield.
I don't know that they couldn't call that one, throwing the ball away, Pat, because there was no receiver out there. We said if you're going to block, you got to get those guys blocked. Here's Stubblefield right here. He works against Ray Donaldson. He just goes right by Donaldson, and he's the guy that hits Troy Aikman first, and then Troy Aikman throws the ball away. Because if you look out here, you're going to see the thing. Here's where Troy Aikman throws the ball, and there's no Cowboy receiver out in this area here at all.
But he got it across the line of scrimmage. I think that's one of the vital facts. Jets punt. Fair caught by Terry Kirby at about the 8 or 9. And that's where the 49ers will start. Long way to go, and Elvis Grbac, the quarterback.
Smart, the intelligent, thrifty. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. And by the United States Marine Corps, that changes forever.
The MetLife blimp is cruising the skies above San Francisco's 3Com Park, powered by twin engines that are capable of reaching speeds greater than 57 miles an hour. Snoopy 2 furnishing us with those great shots today from above. Grbac. 49er first down. Now for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Pat, Seattle is dismantling Minnesota. Take a look at Steve Broussard hit the hole in 4th gear. He takes it in for the score. It's 28-7 Seattle over Minnesota. 7 seconds left in the half. Back to Pat and John.
Back at 3Com Park, it's 10-7. 49ers leading the Cowboys 1st and 10 at their own 26 for San Francisco. Grbac gives to William Floyd. Floyd is hit just as he turned upfield by Strickland.
You know, one thing is, we talked about this Cowboy defense today, how they're playing a base defense of 2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs, and I think with Darren Woodson playing a weak side linebacker, it looked like it took the first quarter for them to adjust to it. And then the second quarter, they've adjusted playing this defense, and they've been playing it very well since then. You see, here's Darren Woodson here, normally a strong safety, playing right here in the linebacker location.
Derek Lavelle was the man in motion. Lavelle breaks Woodson's tackle.
That was still a heck of a collision, though. I mean, Derek Woodson, I'll tell you about him. I mean, he was a linebacker in college, a safety in the pros, but when he comes up, he lays the wood. And he really did on Lavelle on that one. The only thing he didn't do is he didn't wrap his arms. But that was one, I mean, that was way over on the other side of the field. You could hear that one all the way up here.
Dick Hantack.
Illegal shift. Numbers 80 and 82 moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Now what that is you can have 2 people shift, but you can only have 1 person in motion. So if 2 people are shifting at the same time, then you have an illegal thing. Listen to this here.
Problem is that penalty is they don't have a number 82.
80. I think it was probably 81. I think it was Rice was one of them, because he was one of the guys. I think Terrell Owens was probably the other one.
Here's Grbac back to throw. Hands time. Pass complete to Rice. Taken down in a hurry by Kevin Smith, short of the first down.
That was one of those option routes where Jerry Rice runs like he's going inside and then pivots back outside. And Elvis Grbac does, but watch him. He's here, and he's going to come up and come in here, then go back out. You see, he gets his hand up. Now he starts in here, see? And then he just starts in, and then he gets Kevin Smith to start that way. Then he goes right back out. Of course, Jerry Rice is going to catch passes like that, but if you're Kevin Smith, you have to do exactly what he did. He's going to catch him, but you got to tackle him when he catches him.
3rd and 6. Grbac. Incomplete, he just threw it away. Tolbert applied a little pressure.
I think it was a combination of Tolbert's pressure, like you say, Pat, and the good coverage on Jerry Rice. Because he's out there. Jerry Rice is up on top, up in here, and Grbac is trying to throw the ball to him. So he's going to get pressure here from Tolbert, plus good coverage up on top. You see, here comes the pressure right now, so then he just had to throw that one away. But that's the second time that Frank Pollock is trying to cut someone, and the guy just jumped over him.
Thompson. Kick comes off the inside of his foot and bounces out of bounds. Not his best by any means. The Cowboys take over at their own 36. San Francisco 10, Dallas 7. San Francisco 10, Dallas 7. Third quarter. 3Com Park.
Well, that's an old
day.
one, isn't it? That airplane?
World War I.
It's amazing it stays up.
Yeah.
Keeps its wheels down all the time. Those old ones always have their wheels down.
It's a good idea. Emmett Smith, and Emmett gets around the corner and is knocked backwards after he picked up 5. Marquez Pope.
You know, that's one of the advantages of having a safety play corner. That when you start run, the outside guy, now what he has to do is if they run to him, he has to be the force guy. So here he comes off, and then he sees it's run. Now he has to get up and force that thing back inside. And I think Emmett Smith saw Marquez Pope come and say, hey, there's a guy who is a corner, used to be a safety, and hits like a linebacker.
And that causes sudden stops. 2nd and 4. 49ers showed blitz. Sanders incomplete.
Ooh, and Troy Aikman is upset with that one because they came on a blitz. They brought Merton Hanks up. Merton Hanks came from the outside. Daryl Johnston stayed in there and picked him up. Watch Daryl Johnston. He's going to be here. Hanks is going to come from this side. Johnston picks him up, so you get man-to-man. Johnston picked him up there on the outside. They had man-to-man, and that's what Troy Aikman is looking for. Man-to-man, the safety blitz. They had nothing there, and then he didn't hit him.
Makes it 3rd and 4. They're 3 out of 8. 3rd down conversions. San Francisco leads by 3. 10-7 in the 3rd quarter. Aikman back to throw. Not enough for the first down. Bjornsson made the catch, but he was a yard shy, covered by Lee Woodall.
Lee Woodall, you look at Lee Woodall, and he looks just like Evander Holyfield.
Like a twin almost.
I know, we saw Lee Woodall in practice yesterday in the 49ers, and then you watched the fight last night, Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, and you say, boy, look at this guy. Here's Lee Woodall right here, and look at this. This is Evander Holyfield. I don't know that wasn't after the fight, though.
I think it was. Jet gets off a good kick. Dexter Carter lets it bounce. Takes the Cowboy hop straight up, and they down it at about the 10. Herschel Walker down it, and the 49ers will have 90 yards to go. They lead by 3. Summerall touchdown pass to Iwazaki in this Budweiser game summary. Troy Aikman scored the Dallas touchdown, but Steve Young is still in the locker room. Aikman's ran a quarterback draw from 3 yards out. Here's Grbac back to throw it. Swings it outside. Not much doing. Terry Kirby made the catch.
You know, Elvis Grbac is injured himself. Remember 3 weeks ago he hurt his shoulder. He was inactive. They had him active last week, but George Seifert said he would have hated to have to have played him. He said he thinks he would be okay this week. It's his left shoulder, not his right shoulder.
He's wearing a harness to restrict the movement, but not so that it affects his throwing motion.
And if you look at this, remember last time he played Dallas, he was 20 for 30 and 305 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this is no big bargain for the Cowboys.
Grbac has a man wide open. Ted Popson. They forgot to cover the backup tight end, who's done a good job. 22-yard gain, Grbac to Popson.
And that's why they need someone like Popson, because they get so involved with a Jerry Rice. They got the two tight ends. They both come out in pattern. Brent Jones takes the inside. Popson takes the sideline. And Grbac throws it perfectly to Ted Popson. You see that? They had the two tight ends, Brent Jones and Ted Popson, lined up next to each other. They both came off the line of scrimmage together. Jones inside, Popson outside.
Kirby broke one tackle.
Again, we talked about tackles you have to block. You better block Leon Lett. Here we're going to see Leon Lett again get penetration. Now, once you can get a defensive guy back in that area, there's not much room to run the ball.
I don't think the Cowboys had a cornerback on this side.
Well, you know, they probably didn't, because they had 8 guys right up there in the line of scrimmage. In that picture we just saw where they're running, they had 8 guys up there. Here it is right here.
They don't have a cornerback.
They have 8 guys right up there. Well, it's 2 tight ends and just 1 wide receiver.
Yeah. 2 tight ends again. Derek LaBelle is the deep back. Blitz coming. Picked off by Woodson. Grbac trying to throw a middle screen. It's picked off by Darren Woodson.
And that's exactly why Darren Woodson is playing there. Remember the last time that Grbac played against him? The last time that he beat him, they took advantage of those linebackers. So what the Cowboys said today they're going to do is they're going to put a safety. They're going to put Darren Woodson as a linebacker. So you're not going to take advantage of Darren Woodson.
There have been 2 turnovers in this game, both by San Francisco. One a fumble by Young, one the interception by Grbac.
You see, you get the blitz, and then you get Darren Woodson is in good coverage here. You see, and he just sees the whole thing. He's just standing right there waiting for the cross, because they were beaten by the crossing patterns the last time. Darren Woodson, waiting for the cross, intercepted a screen.
1st and 10, Emmett Smith gets the carry. Smith breaks 1 tackle and burrows to about the 28, 27. Hanks and McDonald made the stop.
Yeah, we talked about the turnovers. You look, the last 3 games, the 49ers won. Dallas had 12 turnovers. San Francisco won. San Francisco was 3-0. The previous 3 games, Dallas only had 1 turnover. San Francisco had 7. And then Dallas was 3-0.
6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. Steve Young is still in the locker room. He suffered what they call a slight concussion.
Yeah, but that was his 2nd one in 3 weeks, and that's too many.
Smith again, flag on the play. Doesn't get the 1st down, gets only a couple. Ken Norton made the stop.
You know, talking about those 6 games, Pat, we just talked about the 3 that the 49ers have won, the 3 Dallas won before that. One guy won all those games, and that's Ken Norton.
All 6 of them.
Right, all 6 of them.
Number 22, moving prior to the snap.
3 is a Cowboy, 3 is a 49er.
Down, 2nd down.
Well, it's just Emmitt Smith, I don't think ever really had control of that ball. It was almost knocked out, but that's why a running back has to have strong hands, because Ken Norton hit that ball, and Emmitt Smith was able to hold on to it with that left hand.
Makes this a passing down now, 2nd and 9. Johnston goes in motion. Aikman just fires it high, a penalty marker down. Tim McDonald is over in the area, along with Marquez Pope.
And Michael Irvin.
Yep. It's going to be against San Francisco.
Holding. Defense. Number 23.
Marquez
5 yards.
Pope.
Automatic 1st down.
And that's an automatic 1st down, too. You're going to see Marquez Pope is the outside guy here. Here's Michael Irvin. Again, everyone knows that if you're going to play against Michael Irvin, you have to be physical. Marquez Pope is a physical guy anyway, and he really had him pretty good there. But you just have to take your hands off him. You know, you can get up there, you can hit him, you can jam him in that first 5 yards, but you can't hold him.
1st down, Cowboys at the 49er 27. Emmitt Smith. Can't get underway. He only got a yard.
And you see the guy that was in there again is Bryant Young.
And Stubblefield.
I mean, those are the two guys. And you know, Emmitt Smith, most of his runs are inside. You know, but if you're going to run inside, again, you have to get these two guys blocked. And watch the penetration here by Bryant Young. You see, he comes in there, he takes his man, he straightens him up, and then he gets the penetration right there. Not only did he get the penetration, but he made the tackle, but he just straightened Ray Donaldson right up.
Second down and 9. That was Johnston in motion. This is Emmitt Smith with the carry, and he's got a carry down in front of him. Good play by Marquez Pope to trip him up because he had some room to ramble.
Well, I think they found out that you can't run inside, that you better pack those two tackles in there, Stubblefield and Young inside, pack them inside, and then get to the outside quickly. Well, you can look here. He has 16 rushes for 51 yards, averaging 3.2, and I think most of those 51 yards for Emmitt Smith has been when he's gone to the outside.
Third and short. Inside the 20 and about the 18. Emmitt Smith again gets the first down for the Cowboys at about the 15. John Marshall, the linebacker coach, was signaling, call us a timeout, please. He never got it done.
He was probably trying to get a short yardage defense in there.
I doubt if he said please.
Yeah, and he didn't get the timeout, and the Cowboys did get the first down, and that was just that lead play.
Yep.
You know, Moose Johnston leading to that left side, and Emmitt Smith running right in behind him.
Very basic.
Well, the Cowboys have made a living on that over the years.
Sherman Williams has replaced Emmitt Smith, and he gets the carry. Sherman Williams down to about the 13-yard line, maybe the 12, tripped up by Gary Plummer.
And a good lead block. You know, usually you think of Moose Johnston going inside and making a lead block. That time he went outside and he blocked Lee Woodall.
Nobody does it better.
But watch him come to the outside. Now here's Lee Woodall here. Now he's going to get him and get him going backwards, and he's the guy that gets the corner. See, he gets Sherman Williams that corner. See the block right here? Look at that. That is a heck of a block. And because that's the guy that has to step up to make that play.
Second down, Dallas at the 13.
Someone's going to step on that bird.
Johnston goes in motion this time. And Aikman goes back to throw. Aikman down to the 12, and the ball came loose, and Aikman took a pretty good shot.
Yeah, that's why they give those quarterbacks that thing where you don't have to go head first. That you can go feet first. If you go feet first, they can't hit you. But if you go head first, the thing that they're gonna hit is your head. Now watch him here. He's still trying to throw the ball. His receivers really aren't working. And then when he goes head first, that was his left eye. And you saw that picture there where they were putting the contact lens back in his left eye. They had to take him out of the game. You know, once a player gets injured and they take the timeout, then they have to take the player out of the game for one play. So Wade Wilson is in at quarterback. Now, if Troy Aikman really doesn't have an injury, you would expect him to be in on the next down if they get a first down.
It's an injury timeout, not a charge timeout.
It's also third down.
Right. That's Emmitt Smith. And he won't get the first down. But they'll have a chance to tie. Dedrick Dodge made the stop on Emmitt. And here comes the Cowboy field goal unit.
You can tell that Barry Switzer wanted to get in a shootout today, and he thought he had to, and he sure doesn't want to have to kick this field goal, but he has to. That's the play he has to make here.
You know, I remember a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I guess it is now, that in the Super Bowl game, the one that was in Atlanta, Aikman had new contacts, and he got him in the wrong eye. And played the whole game like that.
With the contacts in the opposite eye?
In the opposite eye.
Well, he just had one knocked out here.
26 yards out. And we're all even at 10. The Cowboys 10 as Bonio hits from 26 yards away. Aikman, it seems to be okay. It's 10-10 Dallas and San Francisco. For the 49ers in the center. President of the 49ers, I should say, Carmen Policy. The owners here as well, Eddie DeBartolo. Derek LaVelle, good return.
Yeah, we were talking about in the pregame warm-up, you could see that the 49ers came out and they were really fired up, and I thought the Cowboys were flat. Look at the first quarter. The 49ers had 139 yards. The Cowboys had none. Then since that first quarter, look what's happened. The Cowboys have 178 yards, and the 49ers only have 51. Also, in that first quarter, the 49ers scored their 10 points, and the Cowboys have scored their 10 points since.
This is William Floyd. Knocked out of bounds after a yard gain.
You know, and then the time of possession, Pat's the same way. In the first quarter, the 49ers had the ball 11 minutes, 30 seconds to 3 minutes, 30 seconds of the Cowboys. And then since that time, the Cowboys have had it 21 minutes to the 49ers 8 minutes and 19 seconds. So the time of possession has really gone with the score. When they had the ball, they were ahead. When they didn't have the ball, they got behind.
On second down, Grbac throws it outside to Kirby. Kirby is down, and a flag on the play. Strickland hopping up and down. He made the stop. It's going to be a face mask, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's one of those things with these guys. You know, you go to tackle, and these backs are so tough to tackle. You're just going to grab anything you can. And sometimes you go to grab, and the first thing that you touch out there is a face mask.
Face mask. Defense, number 55, 5 yards, repeat the down, second down.
He didn't mean to do it, is what it means.
Well, what happens is he did it, but he was a little faked out. You know, he had the outside, and then when Kirby went to cut back against him to the inside, the only thing Strickland had was his left arm, and he put his left arm up there, and his left hand grabbed in the face mask.
So it's a 5-yard penalty. It's not a first down. 2nd and 2. Brent Jones backs up. Now he goes in motion, and Grbac comes to throw. Kirby will get the first down and more. Terry Kirby gets across midfield to the 45-yard line of Dallas. Darren Woodson knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, the first thing that the 49ers did in the first quarter, you know, we talked about the yards and the time of possession, is they were working Jerry Rice more. And they had a pretty good combination of running with Kirby and running with William Floyd and throwing the ball to Jerry Rice. And they've kind of gotten away from that since then. And I think that to get back in the flow and to get back to moving things, they have to get the running game going. Plus, they have to start getting the ball again to Jerry Rice.
1st and 10. Grbac gives to William Floyd. And Floyd's got some room and out of bounds after a pickup of 9.
Oh, look at Chris Dolman still blocking Deion Sanders. That's Dolman, number 67. He was leading out there on the cornerback, Deion Sanders. He made a heck of a block on him, and he kept blocking him right out of bounds, right behind all those photogs over there.
No flag.
That's the way a guard should block, though. Watch him. Here he is, and Deion Sanders right there. Deion's trying to get his face mask up there. Dolman just keeps blocking him, blocking him, blocking him. Deion was holding on to his face mask, and Dolman gave him one last shove, and they're over in here still playing football.
2nd and short.
Playing football among the photags.
Grbac calls a timeout. The 49ers will have 2 left. The Dallas 35, 2nd and 1. Gerbach's going to go deep. Got a man open. Ooh, he had Terrell Owens wide open, and he just overthrew him, and he knows it.
That was an interesting play because Terrell Owens was kind of like a decoy, and he came out and he was kind of going in slow motion. You watch him, see him here, he's kind of going in slow motion, comes off the line slow, and then boom, he turns it on like I was just fooling you. And he just runs right by everyone. And if Grbac had just taken a little more off that was a touchdown.
He had it. And had a lot of room. 3rd and 1.
The closest guy was Roger Harper, and he ran right by Harper.
Here's Grbac. To Terry Kirby, who surges for the 49er first down behind the blocking of William Floyd.
I think one thing that the 49ers can do is really take advantage of those safeties. Roger Harper's playing one safety now, and George Teague is playing the other safety. One because Brock Marion is injured. He's out of the game. And the other one, Darren Woodson, is playing up as a linebacker. Darren Woodson, again, playing linebacker up there today. And so they have 2 backup safeties, and neither one of them can really run well, especially Harper. I think they can take advantage of his lack of speed.
Here's Grbac. For Rice, incomplete. Covered and covered well by Kevin Smith.
Gerbach's proven he has enough arm here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he had Terrell Owens out there, and he overthrew him, and then he overthrew this one to Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice wasn't as open as the one before.
No.
I mean, Terrell Owens was open. That was a touchdown.
Grbac and the 49ers figure we might as well take some shots. Owazeke, the man that scored the first 49er touchdown, is in the game now.
It's going to be interesting with Elvis Grbac being a free agent at the end of this year, what the 49ers do. They let him go and keep Steve Young, or let Steve Young go and keep him on.
That'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
I think that's a reason that, Steve Young is so concerned with those injuries. He had the groin injury and missed, and then he had the concussion and missed, and then today he has another concussion. And when you get to be his age, that 35, 36, you just can't play the way you used to. You can't play as recklessly as you once did.
And you don't come back quite as quickly. 3rd and 5. Good call. This is Kirby. Kirby, touchdown, 49ers. Seven-yard touchdown run by Terry Kirby.
Off tackle, that last tackle, George Teague knocked him into the end zone, but they're just going to come and run right in this area here. You see it's a delayed draw, but look at this lane right here. They just run the defensive backs off. They block the safety, and the last safety, George Teague, it just knocks him into the end zone.
Woodson just got knocked inside, and that's where they went.
That's one thing you know. You play a safety at linebacker, but they're going to test him.
Great victories from the team that's rushed for over 100 yards, and they're over that figure today. Herschel Walker back deep for Dallas. Wilkins set to kick it off for San Francisco. Walker at the 7. Down about the 28 is Herschel Walker.
We talked.
They'll take over.
Darren Woodson, how he comes in here and then just really takes himself out of the play. They block him. Tolbert is an outside. There's no one in that hole. One safety gets blocked by Jerry Rice. The other safety, George Teague.
First and 10 at their own 28. Aikman back to throw. Swings it outside to Darrell Johnson up to the 30. Ken Norton brought it down. Right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Chicago doing its best to stay close to Denver here. Dave Craig, nice fade pattern to Curtis Conway. He was pushed out. Count the score. It is 17-9 Denver in the 4th. Back to Pat and John.
Back at 3Com, it's the 49ers 17, the Cowboys 10. 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes left to play.
Michael Irvin hasn't caught a pass this half. He caught 4 in the first half, and they haven't gone to him yet this half.
It's Emmett Smith. Nowhere to go. Emmett swarmed, lost the ball. The Cowboys got it back. Michael Irvin wrestled the ball loose.
And Emmett Smith is doing things that Emmett Smith usually doesn't do. Now, part of that can be those defensive tackles, but part of it is Emmett Smith. I mean, Emmett Smith used to take a ball and just run it into a hole and either run it there or cut it back, but he never turned and ran all the way out here like that. And again, but you just see there's no hole there. There's no place to go. They're not controlling. So he comes back, and he gets the ball stripped right there at the end. Michael Irvin was in position to recover it.
3rd and 13. Aikman back to throw. Has some protection this time. And now he's going to take off and throw it. Drops it up the field, just throws it away. Incomplete. Sanders in the area, but the Cowboys will have to punt.
Yeah, once he leaves and gets outside that tackle box, he can throw the ball away. That's a rule they put in a couple of years ago, as long as it gets back to the line of scrimmage. That ball was over the line of scrimmage. Aikman did throw it away, but that was a legal throw away. But again, it was caused by a pretty good pass rush and very good 49er defensive pass coverage.
Jet back to punt. Dexter Carter deep for the 49ers. Jets kick is a good one. Dexter Carter retreats all the way to the 15. Now down in a hurry is Jim, I beg your pardon, I thought it was Jim Swantz. It was Alan Campos who brought him down. 59-yard punt, 6-yard return.
Back to the line of scrimmage. You see, when he goes here, and he goes on the bootleg, and he has nothing here, nothing here. Now, right now, he ought to just throw it right up the thing, and then the ball will come back to the original line of scrimmage.
As it is, he lost 11 yards. Thompson back to punt. High kick is going to be handled by Kelvin Martin. Looking for some place to go, and he found a little room. Kelvin Martin down the sidelines and knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, here's one of the reasons, Pat, that he couldn't throw the ball to Jerry Rice. Deion Sanders is holding him.
That'll frustrate you. Great defensive battle, a great defensive game by both teams today. Aikman to throw it. Aikman to Irvin. Irvin to the 20, to the 18. Brought down, dragged down by Tyrone Drakeford. That's the first pass he's caught in the second half.
And, you know, it was just a matter of time that they had to do that. Michael Irvin, one of the best things that he does is run a deep end or run patterns to the inside because he's so big and so strong. See, he starts up. Now he starts on the slant. Troy Aikman hits him perfectly where he didn't even have to break stride, and he could just run right away from Tyrone Drakeford.
See him cover up that ball after he knew that was as much as he'd get. That's Bjornsson in motion. Emmett Smith heads to the outside to the 15. Smith out of bounds at about the 11.
I think Emmett Smith hurt his knee on that play, Pat, or his ankle. Again, it was Tim McDonald. You know, we talked about that. You look inside. It's those two tackles when you play the 49ers. You break to the outside, then you have to locate Tim McDonald because Tim McDonald is going to locate you.
And Emmett Smith still down.
Well, he starts off here, and he's going to bring the ball into the right side, then bounce out. Now he gets outside the corner here. He runs away from Ken Norton. Now watch 46, Tim McDonald come. See, he knows that he's going to get there, and that's the guy who got that ankle. Or the back of the foot or whatever it is. Looks like Deion Sanders is trying to block out there, but he blocked his guy, Tyrone Drakeford, right into Emmett Smith.
And Drakeford and McDonald both hit Emmett Smith, who tried to get up and then had to go back down, and Sherman Williams will come in his place. It's been a tough year for Emmett Smith.
But again, there's those 49er run stoppers, and they're playing so well today with Dana Stubblefield, Bryant Young inside. There's been nothing inside all day for Emmitt Smith. Then when he bounces it to the offside, to the outside, then he has to look out for Tim McDonald.
It's just been a series of injuries, one after the other for Emmett. Going back to the preseason, 2nd and 1. Sherman Williams, the deep back. Aikman to throw. Pass is picked off by Marquez Pope. Pope with the interception. And the 49ers take over.
That's another thing that Troy Aikman doesn't do a lot of that. You know, Troy Aikman usually does smart things. The last couple of weeks, he hasn't always done smart things. Deion Sanders is trying to run a slant down here. Marquez Pope is just more aggressive. He's just more physical down here. He takes away the inside, and it's not there. Watch, here's Deion Sanders. Here's Marquez Pope. You see, he's going to run the inside. Marquez Pope beats Deion Sanders to the inside. Deion Sanders, if you're going to run in and you're going to run inside, you have to keep going. You can't stop. Troy Aikman expects him to keep going. Deion Sanders stops. Marquez Pope keeps going, and he comes up with the ball.
So the 49ers dodge a bullet. First down at the 9.
And I'll tell you, I'm just going to say it. Troy Aikman is very, very upset with Deion Sanders.
49ers put Grbac back to throw it. And the Cowboys get the interception right back. Strickland intercepts at the 15. And Grbac, like Aikman, should not have thrown that one. Or whoever you want to blame. It's hard to know.
Look at that one. And if you're going to force something, you never force it inside. That's an old rule. If you're going to force something, you force it to the outside. You throw it out of the end zone. You don't force it in the middle. Elvis Grbac did that time, and Fred Strickland was right there. Watch, here's Fred Strickland right here. You see now he was really just staying right there in the middle, and he's reading Elvis Grbac. In fact, his job today was going to be to mirror Steve Young. Yep. Steve Young's out of the game. Now he just mirrors Elvis Grbac. Grbac tries to hit that thing in the middle, and there's Fred Strickland right there.
First down, Cowboys. Emmett Smith is back in the game. Bjornson was the motion man. Smith gets the carry. Smith down to about the 11. Clock running 6 minutes and 18 seconds left, and continues to run. 2nd and 6.
And I'll guarantee you one thing. Troy Aikman down in this area is not going to throw a pass to Ty.J. Armstrong, and he's not going to throw a slant to Deion Sanders. If he's going to throw a slant, if you're going to force the ball, you better force it to a great wide receiver. If you're going to force the ball, force it to Michael Irvin, but don't force it to Ty.J. Armstrong or to Deion Sanders.
Irvin is left, Bjornson in motion. Marquez Pope jumped up and hit Michael Irvin.
I think maybe Michael Irvin moved first.
Maybe so.
I think that was what Marquez Pope was saying, that once that wide receiver gets set, he can't move forward. And I think Marquez Pope was saying that he moved forward. Michael Irvin is saying he just come up and punched him.
Let's see what Dick Hantak says.
Neutral zone violation defense, number 23, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Marquez Pope says that he has to be physical. He's going to attack. You see him now. He's looking inside. Now he comes up there, and I don't know that Michael Irvin didn't move first. That's what it looked like first. Who moves first? I don't know. That's close because you can't see the neutral zone, which is the length of the football, so you don't know what if he came across out or not.
How often do you see a cornerback get called for that kind of penalty? 2nd and 2. Darrell Johnson inside the 5. First down, a flag on the play.
I think Marquez Pope is really kind of redefined the position of cornerback, and he's made it a much more physical position.
It's going to be against Dallas.
Holding, offense, number 86, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down, 2nd down.
Bjornson, 10-yard penalty.
Here's Eric Bjornson right here, and you see Tim McDonald is right up on him, and he just comes in and he just grabs the guy right there.
Tackled him.
He just tackled Roy Barker.
So it's 2nd down and 12.
Guys that really don't have good feet or aren't real strong or aren't real good blockers will do that a lot.
2nd and 12. Aikman to throw up. Caught diving catch by Bjornson. At about the 12. Picked up 5 maybe.
Well, if he did pick up 5, he just picked up half that he just gave him on that running play when he tackled Roy Barker.
3rd down. They need 7 for a first.
This is an interesting call for Ernie Zampese here that are you going to kick a field goal if you don't get a first down? And again, you can get a first down without getting a touchdown, or is this a 1-play or a 2-play?
Interesting. Walker goes in motion. Aikman back to throw. Johnston makes the catch and gets the first down at about the 3.
See, that's the thing, because Dallas had all 3 of their timeouts, and now they got the first down. I still think had they not gotten the first down, they probably would have had to kick a field goal, but you don't know what Ernie Zampese was thinking in that situation.
They mark it back at the 4, so it's first and goal at the 4.
Look at what a head coach does here. Watch George Seifert and watch Barry Switzer. They both just tighten up and start to squirm and move and do stuff and get body language to help it. And it's the most helpless feeling in the world. There's not a thing you can do.
Here's a timeout called by the Cowboys. Switzer has never beaten Seifert. It's first and goal, Dallas at the 4.
And you have the option to throw him the ball. When you take him out of there, then you lose that option. But now they have to go. Now they have Deion Sanders in there, and they have Michael Irvin down here, so they have 2 receivers.
And Aikman will throw if he has time, and he throws it away. Fires it over the head of Deion Sanders and everybody.
See, the 49ers are making him go to a second read, because on that play and on the interception he threw, Deion Sanders was not the original receiver. Here's Deion Sanders up here. He doesn't want to throw to Deion Sanders. He's trying to throw to his left. You see him look to his left? He was trying to throw to Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin was covered. There was nothing there. Watch Michael Irvin here. Marquez Pope has good coverage. That's what he sees first. Marquez Pope had him. There was nothing to throw there, so he had to throw it away.
And Bjornsson fell down when he tried to cut. So there was nothing there either. Aikman. Touchdown to Eric Bjornsson. It looked so easy.
Well, the only guy out there with Bjornsson was Lee Woodall. There was no other 49er defender out there, and that ball was thrown right over Lee Woodall's head. But you see, Bjornsson is right there, number 86. The closest guy is Lee Woodall right there. Lee Woodall starts to work to the outside. There's no one behind him. That had to be a drop coverage.
Had to be. Although they had him in mind on the previous play. Bonio ties it 17-17.
Look at the 2 coaches on the score.
You want to be.
Cisco. And our Aflac trivia question, how many former Dallas and San Francisco assistant coaches are now NFL head coaches?
I bet you the number's a double-digit number.
I bet you there's a lot.
Because there's a lot of them. And when you take teams, these 2 teams have won the last 4 Super Bowls. And that's where you get head coaches from, usually an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, you know, from the Super Bowl championship team is usually a pretty hot commodity.
Bonio kicks it off. Through the hands of Derek Lavelle, and they down it in the end zone. Let's try the Aflac question again. How many former Dallas and San Francisco assistant coaches are now NFL head coaches? Double digits, you say?
Yeah. Oh, 12. That's double digits.
That's double digits. That's amazing. But as you say, success in one place means let's do what they've been doing to win and be successful, so let's hire somebody that knows that system.
Well, you know, some of those guys, like a Dan Reeves, you kind of forget. You know, that, you know, of course, he was a Dallas Cowboy for so long, but he's been gone, you know, with the Denver Broncos and the New York Giants. Bruce Coslett just became a head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals the other day.
And has won 3 games. Here's a reverse to Rice. And Rice is caught after no gain by Darren Woodson.
Darren Woodson has a full day work today because he played about 3/4 of the game as safety, and I mean linebacker, and that's what he's playing now. They put him back as a linebacker, and he's one of those guys that can cover, can run, can tackle, and do all those things. He is a very, very valuable guy on this team because they got him back playing linebacker now.
2nd and 11. Grbac back to throw. Gets it out to William Floyd, and Floyd will get a 49er first down out of bounds at the 35. Grbac under pressure. Got it to Floyd. Floyd did the rest.
Yeah, I think so. He got him all the way down below the knees, and again, you know, he's out there for a breather. But the Cowboys just had the 2-minute warning timeout, so they ought to get him back in there.
Casillas playing in his place. Grbac back to throw. Indeed. Diving attempt by Brent Jones, can't hang on.
Brent Jones is back in his second week. Remember early in the season, he hurt his shoulder. He had a screw in his shoulder.
From high school days.
Right, and then when he hit the shoulder, Ray Brown, his own guy, fell on his shoulder and popped the screw out. And he was telling me that, you know, that they had to operate on it. They had to take the screw out of there because he said, you know, the biggest thing they were worried about is the screw would go into the heart.
And you don't want to leave that floating around him?
No. So he said they had to get out of it.
Second and long. Grbac has time and gets it to William Floyd. Not enough nearly for a first down, about a pickup of 3 or 4.
Grbac is still throwing those balls into the middle, into crowds in there, and again, that's awfully dangerous. I mean, I think if you're going to force something or you're going to do something, do it to the outside, but don't be horsing around in there for little 1 or 2 yard gains, because he just had one intercepted about 15 minutes ago by Fred Strickland.
Bill Walsh down on the sideline, took it as long as he could. Here's Grbac back to throw. Incomplete and no flag. Intended for Owens, covered by Kevin Smith, and here comes the 49er punting team.
And I think I know what Bill Walsh is thinking. I think I know what Jerry Rice is thinking, that when you get in a big game like this and you got a player like Jerry Rice and you're into this type of situation, you got to get the ball in his hands.
Thompson back to punt, and deep for Dallas, Kelvin Martin. Punt hangs high. Martin has almost broken one. He heads it straight upfield to the 28. Steve Young, in the event you might have joined us late, started the game for San Francisco. Threw a touchdown pass, got hit twice, both times by Broderick Thomas, and had to go out with a slight concussion. His place has been taken by that man, Elvis Grbac. And although his percentages are good in terms of completions, there have been 2 key interceptions that have led to Cowboy points.
Yeah, and one of those interceptions came right after Troy Aikman made an interception. Deion Sanders stopped on a slant, and Troy Aikman threw it to Marquez Pope, and then Elvis Grbac came back and gave it right back to the Cowboys, and they went and scored with it.
Less than a minute left on the scoreboard. 17-17 tie at Aikman. Outside to Emmett Smith, and Emmett stays on his feet and gets a first down, runs out of bounds, and stops the clock after he picked up the first.
Again, both teams have 2 timeouts, so they have time here to get the ball down. Here's Emmett Smith here. You see that he's going to set up to the right to block. Then he's going to just come to kind of scat to the left. He's just looking for an opening anywhere he can find one. Ken Norton is just playing man-to-man on him.
And Emmett skipped out of Norton's attempted tackle and got a first down. 49ers showing blitz. Roy Barker jumped over the middle. Flag on the play.
I think Roy Barker jumped over the middle too soon, don't you?
I think so.
I mean, that's an infraction. That could be one of those abatement things. I think he kind of neutral zone, offsides, encroachment, and abated.
Defense, number 92, unabated to the quarterback.
Yes.
5 yards, still first down.
This game presented by authority of the National Football League. Excuse me, John, go ahead.
No, there's the unabated right there. I mean, he did go.
That's unabated.
Yep. He went. There was a neutral zone infraction and went unabated to the quarterback.
1st and 5. Cowboys a long time in the huddle. First and 5. Cowboys at their own 45, and here comes another San Francisco rush. Aikman down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Kelvin Martin, and he really cut that one loose. This game presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the National Football League is prohibited. Switzer on the right, Seifert on the left.
Well, the fans sure got a good one in this one. This is one of those things that looked good when the schedule came out, and then both teams didn't play as well as you thought, but they sure have today.
Aikman retreats, going deep. Deion Sanders, the intended receiver.
He was out there on Steve Israel, or Israel was out there on Deion Sanders. Steve Israel fell down. Deion Sanders was wide open. There wasn't anyone around him. The corner fell down. That is unbelievable. Watch this. Steve Israel is here. He starts to go. He falls down. And right now, there's no one out there with Deion Sanders. All Troy Aikman has to do is throw it a little shorter, or Deion Sanders has to have about 2 more steps.
They got the coverage they wanted. He was out there all by himself, and now 3rd and 5. They've got to get a first down.
Out there all by himself and fell down.
Yes. Here is Aikman. Up the middle, complete to Kelvin Martin. Clutch first down, Dallas. Clock continuing to run, 30 seconds, and now they stop it.
And the Cowboys have to think now, the first thing they have to do is get in field goal position, and they need about 20 more yards.
San Francisco.
49ers.
Their second timeout. This is
That's
a
their second timeout. So both teams have 1 timeout remaining. To summarize what happened, Dallas has turned the ball over once, an interception by Marquez Pope. San Francisco has 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions by Grbac, and a fumble by Steve Young. And Dallas has gotten 10 points off those turnovers. Young out, as I said, with an injury, a slide.
Need about 15 to 20 more yards.
I would think so. This is a grass field. You don't kick it quite as far on grass as you do on the artificial turf. Here's Aikman back to throw. Good protection. The pass is high, intended for Michael Irvin. 25 seconds left. The Dallas Cowboys, we mentioned this earlier, have lost the 10th game of the season, 10 straight years, the last 2 against the 49ers, and this is the 10th game of this season.
Yeah, none of that stuff means anything now. I
Nope.
mean, right now, the Cowboys need about 15 more yards, and the 49ers have to stop them from those 15 yards in 25 seconds.
2nd and 10. 1 timeout left for the Cowboys. 1 for San Francisco. Here's Aikman to throw. Going deep for Deion. Can't hang on. Had it momentarily and lost it.
You know, the reason that he's going for Deion Sanders is the coverage has to be great on Michael Irvin, because I know that Troy Aikman would rather go to Michael Irvin, and that if they double him, then his read brings him back here to Deion Sanders, and he really doesn't want to have to do this.
He almost came up with it.
But here's the reason that he has to do it. You see, he's getting the double out there. You see, he has this guy waiting right here and the guy underneath it, so he doesn't feel that he can get the ball to Michael Irvin. So that read takes him to the other side of the field.
3rd and 10. They have 1 timeout left, 18 seconds left. Aikman back to throw. Sack. And we're headed for overtime. Dolman beat the blocking.
That was the play that the 49ers needed. Because when they only had 1 timeout, that'll take it away. You watch Chris Dolman. He's gonna come from the outside. Chris Dolman is right here. He's working against Mark Tuinei. He gives him the inside move and gets right on Troy Aikman. That is a heck of a pass rush move against a big 300-plus-pound guy. He just, boom, he just swapped him right to the outside and went inside.
Well, he has that reputation. You've talked about it so many times of being a speed rusher, but you got to go inside once in a while.
I know it, and once those speed rushers go inside, they become much, much more effective.
San Francisco has taken a timeout. Nine seconds left to play. Following football here on Fox, Married with Children, The Simpsons, and The X-Files, except on the West Coast. We're headed for overtime at 3Com Park in San Francisco. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. Technical producer is Bob Muller. Associate director is Rich Russo. Broadcast associates Mike Roig and Fran Morrison. The studio was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And back deep for Dallas, John Jett.
And I don't think there's anyone back deep for the 49ers, Pat. Look, they got all 11 guys. They're just up here for any kind of fake. And if it's kicked, they're just going to let it go. There's no one deep. Look, there's no one back here.
A flag on the play. A penalty marker on the play is Jett. And no one to cover it. The Cowboys will down it. Can't end on a defensive penalty. The game can't. The scoreboard clock has expired.
And the other thing is, if it's a roughing the punter, it's not. It's going to be against the kicking team anyway, so then it can end.
It can end, yes.
But if it is a roughing the kicker, then they still have to get the first down.
Formation.
The kicker brought out his best act,
not lined up on the line
but nobody was buying tickets. You're going to make him kick it again, huh?
But yeah, because they didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage, so they're going to kick it again. I think the 49ers are just going to try and come on another block.
Looks like it. Nobody deep.
See, because they don't have to worry about roughing the kicker, because now they can't get a first down, and roughing the kicker is not an automatic first down.
So they can tee off, huh?
Yeah, they can just tee off. But now they got one guy back. You see, they got a guy back here.
Yep.
The first time they did it, they had 11 guys up there.
Dale Hellestray is the snapper. 49ers have used all their timeouts, by the way.
The referee's gone over to the Dallas Cowboys sideline to explain to Barry Switzer, who's out on the field, Joe Avizano, the special teams coach.
Wade Wilson
are out there to explain what it is.
Now here comes Emmitt Smith. And here comes the Dallas offensive unit. What's going on? They must be just going to run out the clock and not even try to punt it.
Well, the thing is, they have to watch out when the whistle blows, because there's an automatic timeout at change of possession.
The 49ers have no timeouts.
I know, but if they don't make a first down, if they take a play and don't make a first down before the whistle blows, it's automatic timeout, change of possession.
Right. And that would put Jeff Wilkins.
Time ran out on the play.
Time ran out.
But since it is a foul by the offense on a kicking play, the defense can request to replay the down. There is no time on the clock. One snap.
Okay, well, then they don't have to worry about that automatic. There's no time in the clock. So then once Barry Switzer, Joe Avizano heard that, he just put his offense back in there. Now he's just going to kneel down. I mean, there's no need to punt. There's no need to do anything.
Just got to snap the ball one time.
Well, although if there's no time in the clock, then why not take a shot?
Why?
Yeah, but just heave a deep one.
They might do that.
Yeah, just throw the old pigskin down there.
But
I mean, there's no time in the clock, so why not?
Take the risk of a fumble, and the 49ers picking it up and scoring.
Yeah, but I would take that risk. I would just have Troy Aikman heave one. What the heck? I mean, strange things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
Have they ever?
Strange things usually happen. I think he is going to. Look out there. He has 3 guys lined up out here. I think he is going to throw it up there. Heave the pigskin up there.
Yeah, he's going to. High and as far as he can throw it. And it's out of bounds. So we headed for overtime.
And they're playing here today, and here we go into overtime. We have an overtime, and that lived above expectations.
You're not telling me you expected Holyfield to win.
No, I didn't. I didn't expect Holyfield to win. I didn't expect it to go 11 rounds. I didn't expect anything, but I didn't.
He'll have a chance to handle this one. Short kick at the 13 is Walker. You got 2 guys to block. You heard Avizano say that. But the return does not materialize. Right now, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
At Chicago on 4th down, looking for the go-ahead score against Denver. Fade pattern. Craig looking for Curtis Conway, throws behind him. Chicago up into Denver now with an NFL best 9-1 mark. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
And this is one of the NFL's best today at 3Com Park as well. Troy Aikman leads the offensive unit out 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And this crowd is into it now.
Johnson, the man in motion. Aikman back to throw it. Calvin Martin made the reception. Not big, not fast, but he can make some plays.
And again, it's a type of thing that Troy Aikman always feels comfortable with Calvin Martin in that he knows where he's going to be. I mean, Calvin Martin comes, he works back to him, he gives him something to throw to, and Troy Aikman feels real good when he throws the ball to Calvin Martin.
And to the guy split wide to the right as well. That's Michael Irvin.
Who's only caught one pass this second half.
It was a big one. Here's Emmitt Smith, and he's trying to get it around the corner and does get enough for the first. Ken Norton pushed him out of bounds.
There's one thing is you see Chris Dahlman there. He's the starting offensive guard for the 49ers, who's played real well today. And this 49er offense on the sideline is a little frustrated because the Cowboys had the ball at the end of regulation, and now they get it in the first period of overtime.
Again, Steve Young suffered a slight concussion and has not returned. That was in the second quarter. And Elvis Grbac has been the 49er quarterback. Here is Aikman again to Emmitt Smith. And again, he hits it around the corner. A flag on the play. Smith slipped down, but a penalty marker down.
One thing, the Cowboys are having more success with their outside running plays than they are their inside. More success with outside running plays than I can remember in a long time.
That could be because of those two
We have multiple fouls on the offense.
very good
Holding on number
defensive
48.
tackles.
Penalty is declined. Holding on number 86. That penalty is accepted 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat the down. First down.
Bjornsson holding again.
Well, that's why he got around that corner, because Bjornsson held and Daryl Johnston held. And then Emmitt Smith was running her right in behind Moose Johnston.
Bjornsson, there was some doubt whether or not he could play.
Here's Bjornsson here, and here's Moose Johnston. So that's what you get a hold there, and you get a hold right there. And that was the corner that Emmitt Smith ran around.
Dallas been penalized 10 times for 80 yards. First down and 20.
Crowds really help defense.
Aikman will throw. Up the middle, Daryl Johnston to the 40. The Moose, even here. That familiar call. Lee Woodall made the stop.
Well, Moose Johnston's been in the league for 8 years now, so you know wherever he goes, you're going to hear something. So he's not in the backfield now. He was lined up right there as a slot. He was up in the slot, or there's a wing on the left side. Here he is right here. So now you get a linebacker on him, and he's just from that position just going to run a slant against Ken Norton.
Yep.
He just beat him with quickness there. Norton looked like he was in quicksand.
Aikman gets to Emmitt Smith, and again, he's chased by Dolman. And Smith skips. Maybe he didn't get the first down before he stepped out of bounds.
Emmitt Smith has run out of bounds more today than I've seen him run out of bounds in 3 years.
I agree.
I think that he's had, he's been banged around and bumped up and had so many injuries this year that he's just trying to avoid some here. And when he sees he doesn't have any more, he's just saying, I'll just get out of there and save it for another play.
In past years, he wouldn't save it. He'd have turned it up.
And sometimes in turning it up, you may find something there too. But I didn't feel that any time that he's run out of bounds that it's really hurt them today.
No. Just a little bit short.
I think what has hurt them is not getting the ball to Michael Irvin, or the good coverage on Michael Irvin that has forced Troy Aikman to do other things and go to other people in other places where he hasn't wanted to.
Well, he's had single coverage 3 or 4 times on Deion Sanders and tried to go, and the single coverage has done the trick. 3rd and inches.
And now it's interesting that in the overtime they had Kelvin Martin in there, who I really feel Troy Aikman feels more comfortable with Kelvin Martin than he does Deion Sanders.
3rd and short.
There's a guy, Ken Norton, who's won all 6 of these last 6 games. 3 when he was playing for Dallas, 3 with San Francisco.
2 tight ends. 3rd down. Aikman quarterback sneak. He didn't get much. He may not have gotten the 1st down, or if he did, he just barely got it.
You know, for years, since Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys, they didn't have a quarterback sneak.
I know.
And then about a month ago, they got in a short yardage situation. They needed one and didn't have it, so they put in a quarterback sneak.
They're going to measure again.
And then Barry Switzer told everyone, Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator, put it in. Barry Switzer, the head coach, told everyone, we have a quarterback sneak now. Troy Aikman said, how can it be a sneak when the head coach tells everyone? So there's going to be a quarterback run. Everyone knows we got it. We can't sneak anywhere if they know you got it.
Going to be close again. Yes, he did. He needed inches, and that's all he got.
That's a dangerous thing about that quarterback sneak, though, is when you have a quarterback like Troy Aikman who had concussions, or Steve Young, when you run a quarterback sneak, you have to lead with your head. The first thing that you stick in there is your head.
12-20, say 12-25 by the time they get up to the line. Left in overtime, 1st and 10 Cowboys. They're at their own 44-yard line. Darrell Johnston on the move, and Aikman back to throw. Irvin makes the catch. Drakeford fell down as a flag on the play. Irvin slipped down, Drakeford slipped down, a penalty marker down, and that could move them very close to field goal range if it's against San Francisco.
Defense number 22, 5 yards, 1st down.
Tyrone Drakeford got it all the way. You're going to see Michael Irvin beats him and catches the ball, and then when he goes to tackle him, he grabs his face mask.
They both lost their footing.
The wide receivers in the corners all day have been losing their footing out there. And that's why I remember when Michael Irvin in the first quarter, he slipped down, then he put on longer cleats. And his footing has been much better since he put on the longer cleats.
1st down, Dallas at the 49er 39. Deion Sanders back in on offense. He split wide to the right. Bjornsson moves in motion. Aikman gets to him at Smith. And tried to take it outside, wrapped up by Lee Woodall.
The Cowboys needed about 10 more yards to get in Bonio's field goal range here. Lee Woodall makes a big defensive play there.
Emmitt Smith tried to move it outside, and Woodall recovered.
See, what I think is if you get that if they get right here to the 20-yard line, that would make a 37-yard field goal. And I think on this grass field, everyone would feel comfortable with that for the Cowboys.
Johnson slipped, and down he went. Aikman saw the blitz, got it to Bjornsson, and again he lost his footing.
Because right now it would be about a 52-yard field goal.
52 yards, his longest.
He lost his footing, and he almost lost the ball.
Yeah. McDonald.
You know, this has been a heck of a physical game. I mean, and not only, you know, you expect linemen to be physical and, you know, and big linemen and line play and all that to be physical, but the linebackers have been physical, and the secondaries today have been very physical.
3rd and 7. Smith, the lone back behind Aikman. To Sanders on the slant. That's close to another Cowboy 1st down. Sanders saying it is, and so does the official. And they're close enough now.
I think every time they put Steve Israel in there, they know that they can get inside of him on a slant. And you see what Deion Sanders did? He just gave him a little fake to the outside, and then once he got inside, Troy Aikman just zipped it right in there.
Close enough for Bonio now, if they have to try it.
I would still say to feel comfortable, I think they would need about 8 or 10 more yards.
The footing is very unsure, this part of the field. That's Emmitt Smith, and Smith bowling over people. That looks like Emmitt Smith to the 11. 16 yards. Merton Hanks made the stop.
And they finally got inside. They haven't been able to do that all day to be able to get inside. They're going to run right in this area. See, he starts to the right, then he cuts back to the left because Mark Tuinei, 71, makes a big block there. Dolman started to come in. Tuinei just rode him and just kept riding him in. And then Emmitt Smith was able to cut right off Mark Tuinei's block.
1st and 10 at the 12. Aikman gives to Darrell Johnston. At about the 11, Barker made the stop. Boniol has made the last 30 attempts from inside the 35, and they are not waiting. Here he comes.
Well, the advantage of this is, of course, if you miss it, you don't get to kick it over again. But if anything happens, like you have a bad snap or something like that, you do still have the ball.
Dale Hellestray, the snapper, doesn't make many bad snaps.
No, but I mean, some people think that if you kick it on or try it on 2nd down or 3rd down, you don't make it, then you get another down. If you miss the field goal, then you lose all your downs.
Timeout, San Francisco. Ed will hold it. Boniol will kick it. 17-17, Dallas and San Francisco.
Boniol doesn't want to get anywhere near where he's going to kick it, nor his holder, nor his team. I mean, he got his whole team in one area. The whole team is there, and Boniol is off by himself.
Out of your picture.
Yeah, he's not even going to come in.
There
Here's Boniol way up here. He's doing stretching. He's doing, because whatever these guys are going to yell at him, he doesn't want to hear. And he doesn't want to stand in that position where he has to kick it. So he gets so far away out here by himself that whatever's going on inside isn't going to affect him.
The kickers lead strange lives.
And they always carry a towel. You see Boniol has a towel with him.
But they never touch the ball.
I have no idea what he's doing with that towel.
From 29 yards out to win it for Dallas. It's over. Dallas wins in overtime. In that drive, Aikman was 5 out of 5 to 5 different receivers. Big clutch run by Emmitt Smith to set it up. Boniol from 29 yards won it.